Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on to the world?
Jocelyn, send that question again.
Where's the questions?
She's gonna send it again.
Where do I find the questions?
Can you move that window? That's the first question.
From Cedric. Alright, from Paris. Questions for the new album. Comfortable Swag. How many songs going to be on the album, and what can we expect?
But first, talk about your new album and say hello.
Right. So how do I get back to here now?
Just refresh the page.
I have to do that for every question? Don't click on anything. Just leave it like that. I don't.
Can you still see him? Okay.
This is not good. I don't know how to do this. What do I?
You can just answer a question. Just first say hello, and just say what's up. I'm just going off of what you're telling me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm saying hello to everyone who's logging on with me on the Ustream. This is a little weird. I haven't done this really too much, so forgive me if I seem a little new.
They're doing that. Oh.
So I don't understand what this is.
So
what does this do? What am I supposed to do? There's no Ustream. Go on.
No, there is. They can see you.
The Silver Anniversary Sales Event by Custom Comfort Mattress. For limited time only, enjoy once-in-a-lifetime pricing on a selection of our finest mattresses. Visit us today to find your perfect mattress. Your nearest showroom is located at 14990 Golden West Street,
I'm watching
right here
ads.
in Westminster,
What is there to
California.
say?
The Silver Anniversary Sales Event by Custom
Hello,
Comfort
everyone.
Mattress.
Thank you for
Exceptional
logging on.
quality craftsmanship at a better value than ever before.
I see him play. All right.
I don't see it though.
Yeah,
What's up with this?
He can't see himself.
how do we
so how can he
refresh?
get to the place where he can
How do
see
we
himself?
refresh this thing?
You won't see yourself.
Okay.
But I guess you can answer Cedric's question. How many songs are on the album? Yeah, Jocelyn, you're gonna have to just read off questions to me because that's too hard.
Yeah, that's too much going back and forth.
Yeah, so just read off the question.
All right, so Cedric from Paris. The question was, how many songs are going to be on the album? Well, first of all, let me say the album is called, for those who don't know, Comfortable Swag, and it's the 7th album. And the album is just a very, very, it's one of those records that's it's an atmosphere from the moment you put it on. So there's a lot of variety on the record. There's 11 songs on the album, and I wanted to keep it really nice and short because the reason why I'm keeping it nice and short is because so many of my albums have had a lot of tracks on the album. And this is one of those albums where it's nice, short, and sweet, and it's the connector piece to what the next album that I'm going to be doing as well. So, and I intend on coming back, very soon with some more material, after this album, because there's so much material that I have prepared, that it's like you can't put it all on one record. So I want to just have 11 solid joints that y'all will really enjoy, and then put a new album, after that out, very shortly. So a little more consistent with it now, you know what I mean, in terms of now that the independent, now I'm in my independent situation. I'm deciding really on my own fate and what that's going to be and how I'm gonna rock this year, Hope that answers your question. Big up my man Cedric from France. Paris, France. What's up, Paris, France? Yes, one love. You already know.
Orlando wants to know, how did it make you feel to have Drake sample calling on you?
Word, Orlando. Peace, Orlando. Everybody out there. Well, I'm so complimented by Drake sampling Calling on You. you know, in my opinion, is one of the classic records that I did on Pleasures You Like, and it was sort of the thing where I always wondered if people felt that one, you know, because I know I did. I was like, man, this is one of the sleeper records right here, you know, and there's a lot of, you know, Jodeci influence in that record. You can hear sort of where my head was at the time, you know. I was definitely in my Devontae Swing mode, you know what I mean? But definitely, like, you know, groups like H-Town, you know what I mean? So have Dino, you know, from H-Town particularly as a vocalist, he was so influential on me. That people like groups like that really inspired the song "Calling on You." So when I got the call that that, you know, Drake sampled and everything, I was like, man, that means that he must have really liked that record, and you know, that just, it means everything to me, man. You know, it's like, it's what a great birthday present, you know, to have one of the biggest rappers in the world, you know, sample your joint. And at that, you know, I met Drake a while back, you know, before he had his career, and I actually got a demo from his demo, and you know, I was listening to it the night that he gave it to me, and I usually don't. I'm not one of those cats that just pops in the CD right away as soon as somebody gives me CDs, and virtually a lot of different people give me CDs all the time, and I just don't have the headspace to all the time to listen to them all the time. But well, this Drake CD, I popped it in and I checked it out, and I was just absolutely blown away. And I called him, as a matter of fact, back, and I was like, "Yo, you are gonna give hip hop like what it needs right now, trust." And I'm a fan already. So that was me and Drake's experience before he blew up, and I was glad to have had that time, you know what I mean, to let him know that he was talented even without the deal, you know what I mean, without the Young Money situation, all that. But he's a really talented brother. Respect, hats off, you know what I'm saying, goes up to my man Drake, you know what I mean, for showing me love on the new Cameras joint, man. That's what's up.
Can you go into Calling on Me?
Oh man. Finally got you right here. Tonight I'll leave your mind. That's why I'm calling on you. Soft your love desire. It's hard to stay away. You keep me calling on you. Forgot the chords. Ooh, finally got you right here. Tonight I'll leave your mind. That's why I'm calling on you. Soft your love desire. It's been a lot of years, man, since I did this one, right? Hard to stay away. You keep me calling on you. Could be calling on you in the afternoon. You could be at work, sneak you out the bed. Say you have an emergency, you gotta tend to me. Maybe you know that I don't know how to act. Yeah, it's a little faster. Sometimes you're the thing. It's been too long, man. I forgot how to sing that joint. But y'all don't know. Y'all already know how it goes. So I listen to the Cameras version. In my opinion, it's a lot better than what I just did.
So you want to talk about the new single you just released on last week?
Yeah. So the new single is really exciting. I'm excited to tell everyone. You know, the new single is called "Quality Time," and it's one of these joints I feel like is just like a kind of throwback style joint, like, you know, a classic sounding R&B track, going back to the Motown era, you know, going back to the music that I grew up, you know, really understanding was R&B, you know, Marvin Gaye, the Isley Brothers, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, I mean, just, you know, the classic sounding R&B is more or less what I wanted to do with the song. And I wanted to talk about quality time being sort of a suffering commodity in our day and age. You know, we don't get enough quality time with each other. You know, everyone's working, everyone's grinding. So, you know, you can't forget about having that quality time and prioritizing for your loved one, you know. And I wanted to write the record that sort of put that right, you know, put that right into words and really expressed it the best that I could. I used metaphors as such as like the museum, and you know, a lot of people say, you know, they want to put their, you know, they wish they had a guy who could put his heart on display, like was more, you know, affectionate, you know, and expressive with his emotions. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, like, you know, I'll be that, but I'll put my heart on display like as if you were in a museum. There's going to be so much to see now, you know what I mean? For only you to see. It's quality time, you know. It's metaphors. Speaking of, you know, they have that saying, you know, misery loves company. You know, one line in the record I say, you know, I can't let, you know, I wouldn't let misery be your company. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't let misery keep you company. You know, like, despite where you've been, where your surroundings, I don't know who's at work, I don't know who's sitting next to you in the car, I don't know where you're at. You know what I mean, with your head and who you have around you. But I know that I won't let misery be, you know, what brings you down in your life, because I'm gonna be your man. I'm gonna be by your side. You know, that's what the record's basically saying. Quality time, man. It's pretty much, you know, I feel like one of my really strong ballads, but it's also one of my older records that I kind of brought back out of the, I dug in the crates a little bit for that one, man, and we got that one out from the past and just kind of updated it. We did the beat. I actually rewrote the verses and redid the vocals, and I felt like this was a solid joint to put out, so there you have it.
Juan from Las Vegas would like to know if you ever record a live album.
Juan from Las Vegas, peace, man. I definitely want to record a live album. There's been so many different YouTube clips of me performing, which, you know, sometimes the lighting is right, sometimes the sound's right, but most of the time the lighting isn't right, and most of the time the sound isn't right. So, you know, that the opportunity to do a live album would be the opportunity to get all of that right and to do it, you know, for real. It's always been a dream of mine to have a proper live DVD, or, you know, however, you know, just to be able to kind of do my thing and really record one thing and say, okay, this is the show to remember for life. You know what I mean? That would really be special. I have a lot of those shows in my head, but then y'all don't get to experience it with me. You know what I mean? So it'd be one thing to be able to share that with the world. I plan on doing that very soon.
Shayna from London would like to know if you plan on recreating your jazz cafe sessions.
Oh, wow, yeah.
London town.
Shayna from London town. Peace to London town. I was just in London town, and we love London. Always love coming out there. We had 5,000 sold out, and I'm glad that you commented about the Jazz Cafe shows. That lets you know that you know. That lets me know that you know about what's up with my London performances, and how the Jazz Cafe has been so gracious, amazing to me. You know, with the vibe that we have, it's just so potent in there, man. It's just so thick. You go in there, and it's just like, I mean, it's just a really, really amazing scene, the Jazz Cafe, because of all of the history that. You know, has been through that building, you know what I mean, let alone on that stage, and played those same keys and everything that I'm playing on, sang on that same microphone. D'Angelo to Erykah Badu to, you know, Roy Ayers, and some of my favorite of all time, you know. So yeah, the nostalgia of the place alone is really amazing. The Jazz Cafe I'm speaking of, for all those who don't know what I'm talking about, in London, the Jazz Cafe. And the question was, do I ever plan on recreating those sets? Definitely. I do songs. One of the songs that I actually kind of hijacked it and made it mine, as far as my shows. When the vibe permits it, when it's conducive, is I play "Sweetest Taboo" almost every show now. Sade, just to get y'all in the grown and sexy vibe. You know, I mean, there's a lot of adults that are over 30, maybe even over 35 in the audience, and I wanted to appeal to those people as well. You know, those are the people that usually ain't standing up. You know, ain't gonna give too much physical effort. They want to sit back, cool, and watch the show, and that's fine. I'm performing for y'all too as well. So I like to have a very dynamic, sort of well-rounded presentation as far as all the songs are selected. And I did that song at the Jazz Cafe. I remember seeing it on YouTube actually and loving that because it was just it just really shows you the vibe, how amazing the vibe is in there. Everybody's just packed wall to wall, just in it with me, you know what I mean? So we kind of loved the way that went down, the Sade tune, and so we've been doing that a lot more often now.